I'll wait for you.
Thank you.
I'm hanging in there.
Tough time of year where the sickness hits
Oh, it's hit us the entire year. But. All right. Obviously, big week ahead for us. Getting back at home, 2 home games versus UTEP and New Mexico State, who have pretty consistently been at the top of our league here through the first month. It's good to have a win on Saturday to come off of and hopefully get some positive momentum that we can build on. And I thought there were a lot of positives on, from really our last 3 or 4 games, but it's good to see those lead to a win on Saturday. Obviously, since Christmas, we've had 6 of 8 on the road, 5 of 7 in the league. So, going in that's not easy. And after experiencing it, I would agree that it's certainly not. But at the same time, to be where we're at right now, we're in decent shape. We're moving forward. I think our team is getting better. We're surviving the ups and downs, the injuries and stuff like that we've been through. And good to be coming back home this week after a win at Sam Houston.
Considering some of the injuries that you guys have dealt with, 3 and 4, even if you were full strength, would be a shocking result at this point, would it? Considering how many you've done on the road.
I mean, we were 2-6 on the road in the league last year, and we're 2-3 right now. So it's a hard league to win road games in. I think when the schedule came out and you knew you'd start this way, the home road, it was opposite last year, and we obviously got rolling a little bit. But then we, I know we lost 4 in a row at the end of the year, but 3 of those were on the road. So the home road split thing in our league always seems to be a real deal. I don't know. I guess we're 1 game up on home road splits right now, so I don't think we're in terrible shape. No, I think everybody remembers the positives, but we reminded our players yesterday we were 3 and 4 after 7 games last year. We made the NCAA tournament, so this is a group that's been through a lot, that's had ups and downs, it's won games, it's lost games, and the key is that you continue to get better through it all. And I think we've done a good job here in the last 2.5 weeks or so at doing that.
Previously you talked about working to get better at rebounding and playing the rebounding battle. It looks like UTEP is towards the bottom of those numbers in the league as far as the team goes. Would you say that's an area that's going to be circled this matchup for the win this Thursday?
Yeah, UTEP really pressures out on the floor. So they're number 1 in the country in forcing turnovers, but when you pressure out that far, sometimes the rim is a little bit open if you miss a shot. It's hard to get up and pressure and deny, and then when a shot goes up, get back on the inside of your man. So with how they play, there's some give and take, and their strength is forcing turnovers, and no doubt it appears that they've had some issues defensive rebounding this year. So yeah, something we're aware about. We did a good, I thought our rebounding has been a little bit better here the last couple of games. It's been our shooting percentage isn't exactly where we want it to be quite yet. So if we're not going to shoot the percentage we need to, that offensive rebounding needs to continue to be a key. But no doubt, and we got to do a good job at cleaning up on the defensive glass. They are a good offensive rebounding team. They do have some size on the interior, and Frazier and Kalu and Elijah Jones and Hamilton. They got some 4s and 5s that are strong and can make plays. So I think in general, every game is a real physical battle. I would think when you play UTEP, it's always a physical battle, and we've got to make sure that we rise to the challenge. I thought since we dropped our first league home game to Jacksonville State, and I did not think that we played super well that night. I think in the 2.5 weeks since, I think we've been moving the right direction. So I know there's a couple wins in there, there's a couple losses in there, but even in the losses at Middle and at La Tech, I think we played together. We've got to figure out how to be a more efficient offensive team and to shoot a higher percentage from the floor. But bottom line, I hope we just continue to move forward from where we're at. I think we're gradually chipping away and moving in the right direction. I think our defense and our rebounding has been very together. I don't think we're beating ourselves at all. We've got to figure out. And at Middle and at La Tech, I would think those 2 teams will go about a combined 17-1 at home probably. So I don't think anybody's going to waltz in there and have a very easy time. But that did show us some areas on the offensive end of the floor where we can improve. I think we made a couple steps to do that in the Sam Houston game. So we just got to keep chipping away and certainly make our defense and rebounding continue to be our strength while figuring out how to be efficient on the offensive end.
What steps did you guys take before the game?
We just we're shooting a low percentage from 2-point range, and I think we were 42% from 2 in the La Tech game. And granted, they have Daniel Baccio who protects the rim at 7 feet, and they try to not let you take layups. But we can't take we can't take 1 or 2 passes, take forced, tough, dribble 2-point shots. Get just below the elbow and from 10 feet, just throw it up at the rim. If you're going to shoot that, it should be a steady mid-range pull-up jumper that we work on every single day. We can't not know what to do, and when you don't know what to do, just attack the rim and just try to jump into a shot blocker and throw it up there. That's not, if you do that, there's got to be 2 or 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock. There's no reason to do that at 18, 19, or 20 seconds on the shot clock. There's no reason not to reverse the ball and get a couple reversals and see if the defense will break down. And I thought we did a better job in the Sam Houston game. I think we were 9 for 11 from 2 in the second half of the Sam Houston game. A couple of those are runouts. Trust me, we want to go in transition when it's there. But when it's not there, I think that ball needs to reverse a couple times, touch the paint, maybe play a little inside out, and hopefully get us some cleaner looks.
Coach, Saturday was the first time Don, since he's come to WKU, came off the bench. Was that more of a confidence booster, or was that to get him into that second unit for that spark off the bench?
Just trying to figure out what works for our team and for Don. I think we are trying to play better, and we are hoping every individual player plays better, and just trying to find different kind of wrinkles or combinations that work. I thought he played great on Saturday. I thought he was really juiced up. I thought he came out with an aggressive spark. I thought his defense was very, very good. He had a matchup on Josiah Hammonds, who averages 11 or 12 and can really shoot the ball from 3. And I think Hammonds made 1 shot. So I thought Don had a great focus. And I don't know. I think it's always he just showed how mentally strong he is and how willing he is to do whatever it takes to win. And just the kind of combination seemed to work a little bit. So I don't know. You're just trying to figure out. Coming after a loss, trying to figure out just maybe a different combination or look or different, maybe take a little of the pressure. Right, I think when we start games, teams are just keying in on him, double teaming and triple teaming. So there's probably a little of me just trying to put him in there a minute and a half in just to see if he could get lost in the shuffle. And he made kind of a transition 3 right away. So just trying to get our team going and to see if we can get Don going a little bit on the offensive end.
One of the things we really kind of talked about is just seeing every individual player being able to step up this point in time in the season. Whenever they're called on, you have to be able to come in and put in those good minutes. I mean, you really did kind of see that. I mean, Jalen Dorsey got a lot of playing time in that La Tech game, had to come in because there was a lot of early foul trouble in that game. Got into a little bit of early foul trouble again against Sam Houston. So really just talking about everybody on the bench being able to come in at any point and play good minutes.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have 11 guys that are dressed and ready to go. I guess Fluff didn't play, but the other 10 all played on the trip, and yeah, Jalen Dorsey's. I mean, he's been a huge part of the last 2.5 weeks. I mean, JD can really play. He can guard. He can make a shot. He's a willing teammate. I thought he did a great job when he went in the La Tech game, and I wasn't surprised by that at all. Trust me, I wouldn't have put him in if I didn't know 100% that he's ready for that moment. I thought Jack Edelin is doing a very good job. Obviously, Jalen Jackson's been an elite defender. Braxton Bayless probably had his best game of the second semester at Sam Houston, played with some confidence. Blaze and Leroy are continuing to provide. We got to get them going a little bit more on offense, but, man, they're defending, they're using their size, and they're allowing us to be bigger. When we can have one of them and Enoch and Wu on the floor together, we just have better positional size all across the board, and that allows us to defend and rebound. So Blaze and Leroy are obviously Blaze continues to get into better physical shape. I think his minutes can be at about 20, 22 minutes a night, which I think we would like to get to. And man, Leroy's been exceptional as far as his willingness to defend and rebound and do whatever our team needs. So I think we have 10, 11 guys that are ready to go. And again, when we take the floor, I think they're all ready to do whatever it takes to win and have an expectation that we win every time we suit up.
Just back to Braxton, too. I was wondering about that. Where does that confidence come from in a game? I mean, do you see it in practice leading up to it? Do you see the warm-ups? Do you get to hit that first shot? Where do you think it comes from?
See his confidence every single day in practice. He's been, if you ask the players, they would tell you that Braxton deserves to play a ton because he is he is an everyday guy. Every day in practice, he brings it. Every day he goes as hard as anybody, and every day he shoots the ball and scores and defends with confidence. I think he doesn't want to be selfish at all, so sometimes I think he doesn't shoot that first look. I was happy that he did, with how they were guarding those high ball screens. He made a three when they went under. When they went over, he curled into the right elbow and made a pull-up. And I do think that when he got going, all of a sudden he felt a little bit more confident and felt a little bit better about taking the next shot. I don't know. I told him before the game, and I think I said this on the radio after the game, but early in the year, I did put him in the lineup just to kind of get him going. But I said, Brax, man, you got to get yourself going, man. That's, you have to. Braxton Bayless is the only guy that can get Braxton Bayless going now. But I know his teammates have a ton of confidence in him to shoot and to score the ball I think he had 4 or 5 assists. He made the transition three where he hit Don in the right corner. He's pushing full speed, was a huge play. He dumped one down to Leroy in the first half. I thought he did a great job at being aggressive and then making the right decision, whether that was score or pass. So it was good to see, and I hope it's something he can build on.
Let's get back to shooting, too. You mentioned that earlier. You said that you're probably not shooting as well as you like. Right now, you guys are 10 out of 10 in the league. Somebody's got to be there that you guys right now.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You kind of alluded to maybe some, I don't know if you call it decision-making or shot selection on some of those three-pointers, so that you guys address that. But the three-pointer is kind of come and gone for you guys all year, too. How do you feel about that part of you?
I don't know. I think we got to shoot the inside out, catch and shoot threes when they're there. I don't know. I don't think you can just try to plow the ball to the basket. We're not the biggest team in the world. So I think that when we make shots from three, I think it opens up our game from two. So, but that's just the way I think about basketball. I think that inside out, catch and shoot threes, man, you got to shoot. And really any catch and shoot threes, I think we got to shoot. I don't want random dribbling three-point pull-ups just like I don't want random dribbling two-point pull-ups. I think that when you take a jump, these guys work on their games every single day. They got guys rebounding for them, passing to them, but they probably shoot 300 or 400 or 500 catch-and-shoot shots every day. They probably shoot 30 or 40 dribble jump shots. So we shouldn't be going to shoot the shots in games that we work on 5% of the time, though, that we shoot on, the shots that we practice, that we shoot 95% of the time. I think you want to attack the basket off the bounce, either through the bounce or the pass and get to the rim, or you want to shoot a catch and shoot three. And that's modern basketball. I mean, I know some people don't like it, but when you watch the NBA, it's layups and dunks or catch and shoot threes. Because efficiently, they're very high percentage. If you look at our I don't have the numbers in the last 3 or 4 games included, but I know at Christmas we were shooting 42% from three off the catch and about 24% off the dribble. So we look at it as 2 separate numbers. It's not, and that's how we look at twos as well. It's not just your overall percentage. I think when we shoot in rhythm threes, we're very efficient. We had a great play where Tyrone drove it baseline. Sam Houston kicked it to Christian. We reversed the ball. It got all the way back to Tyrone in the corner, and he made a three right in front of our bench. That's a great shot. That's a great possession. But the ones where we don't move the ball at all and we just don't know what to do and shoot a three off the dribble, well, those are very low percentage shots. So whether it's 3 or 2, we really want player movement and ball movement to lead to a shot that when it goes up, all 5 of us on the court say, yep, that's what we're looking for.
And getting into a little bit of a stretch here, we're going to have a little bit more home games rather than away games. Also, this is the first game in a while that you'll be at home with the students being back at school. Some promotions being ran this week. It's kind of just the importance of really getting in here and cheering on these guys.
Yeah, I would just continue to emphasize, our guys feed off of the crowd here at Diddle. And we've been, both our staff and players have been out on campus this week. Our student turnout's a huge deal. It makes our guys feel good when there's people in the crowd that they know that they know are pulling for them, that they know have their back. So obviously all the fans are super important. The students are crazy important. The students bring an energy and a liveliness to any basketball arena that really inspires and fuels the home team. And it's no different here. So Diddle's a great place for us to play. We have a great advantage no matter what. At the same time, man, when it's full, when it's loud, when it makes the other team uncomfortable, it's even better for us. So we certainly appreciate all the fans that have been coming to the games all year. But man, there's no better time right now. As I said, we're sitting in the exact same position we were in a year ago when we made the NCAA tournament. So sometimes I think when you succeed a little bit, maybe the expectation turns into where we're supposed to go 14-2 or something. But our league is just, I mean, there's no team with 0 or 1 losses. Our league is just too challenging for anybody to go 14-2, 16-2. But we're playing 5-2 UTEP. We're playing 4-3 New Mexico State. If we're able to succeed this week, we're going to be right near the top of the league, right where we want to be. So these are very meaningful games for us. Yep, I know there's a couple of promotions. I know it's a whiteout. I know we're giving away free T-shirts. I know we're giving out discounted concessions. So I think it's a great weekend, Thursday at 7 and Saturday at 2 for all fans here in southern and western Kentucky, and for certainly students here at WKU to come to the games.
Coach, this is a rematch of last year's Conference USA Championship game. Do you think they're going to have a little bit more intensity to kind of get payback? I know it's regular season and not necessarily conference tournament, but do you think they're going to have that kind of spark coming in on Thursday?
1,000%. I think they have mostly the same players that they had in that game. You know, we brought a lot of players back. You know, we view last year as a massive success. I think they view it as probably coming just short, and they're back to try to accomplish that. You know, and they've got off to a great start, and they're 15-5, and you know, I think 6 of their 8 main guys were on that team last year. So yeah, I would think we all remember the games we lose a little bit more than the games we win. You know, I think last year when we went down there and won in Huntsville, we beat New Mexico State, Middle Tennessee, and UTEP, and the fact that we had split with all 3 of those provided us with motivation. I think we remembered the losses, and that, you know, that you gain a team's respect. You know that if you're not at your best, that you're going to get beat. So I would think that they'll come in here with a certain level of respect for us, and certainly a certain level of hunger. They went to Liberty and won. They went to FIU and won. They've had success on the road, and they're playing great basketball. So yeah, I would think we're going to get their best shot, and it's certainly a very significant game for both of us.
And they're going to bring pressure. They got the top 2 guys in the league in Steele and Camper and Otis Frazier. I'm wondering, what do you guys do to combat? I think they're averaging 18 turnovers probably. What do you guys have to do well to kind of deal with that?
Yeah, they pressure you a lot of the court, and then they kind of put their guys that are in help defense way up the line. So they want to make it seem like if you beat your man that you're running into trouble. And it's, you know, it's I think it's, if you can succeed versus that, there's some open shots you can have at the rim. If you fail versus that, they're going to get open shots. They're going to get steals, and they're going to get runouts. So you can't have live ball turnovers, and that's why they're really dangerous. Is because the steals, they lead to layups and dunks at the other end. You know, so your mistake is almost compounded because it's not just throwing the ball out of bounds. It's their team rips it from you and now has a 2-on-1 going the other way. So whether that's cutting, whether that's post touches, whether that's back cuts, whether that's offensive rebounding, obviously when defense is way up the floor, kind of the baseline on the rim is a little bit more open. So, you know, we have to figure out the best ways that we can take advantage of how they play. You know, we played them 3 times last year, and we did. I thought even the game we lost in El Paso was a very, very high scoring game. So you know, we've had some success scoring on these guys before, but again, they're a year older, and all their players look much more seasoned and experienced and improved. So I would think they're going to try to use their defense to make mistakes, and we got to make sure that we can withstand that and hopefully get some open shots at the rim. Yeah, Sam. Watching the Sam game on film, actually, the defense is comparable to UTEP's. We had 15 turnovers, but we shot 9 for 11 from 2 in the second half. So it was kind of give and take. And if we can all of a sudden not turn the ball over, there's open shots to be had. So it's, going back and we watched the Sam game as a team yesterday, and we compare. I would think based on maybe some of our struggles, they really worked up the floor to try to do that. But when you watch how Sam guarded us, it was similar to how UTEP guards, which I think we really haven't been turning the ball over much all year. So it did cause some problems. There was a stretch where we got up by about 6, and we had maybe 2 or 3 back-to-back turnovers in the second half because they were so far up the floor. And then once we decided to play with confidence, and once we got the ball and pushed it, and we weren't just playing with it, we were able to get to the rim and get about 3 layups there to close the game. So it is a similar concept. But bottom line, we got to be confident and aggressive. We can't. When teams really work up the floor at you, if you're just trying, if you catch the ball and you're not putting pressure on the rim or you're not a threat, man, they'll come up and punk you. So we've got to make sure we're confident in what we do. We can't overthink about what they're doing, and we have to believe that if we move the ball and are confident and make aggressive drives on the catch and don't get to that third, fourth, fifth dribble, the good things will happen for us.
Guess we could use an update on Bob and
Yeah, I don't really know. It's no different than where we were last week. I guess probably less so than everybody else. I figure somebody will tell me when something changes. So they're both working hard and getting treatment. They're both out for this weekend for sure. And they both stayed home last week and worked their tails off in the training room to try to get their knees right. But if, as we start to get in the home stretch, if something about their status changes, I'll let you know. But as of right now, we're still a little ways away on both for sure.
Being back at home for those guys, do you think that's important for their mental to be able to be on that sideline, to be with the team for these games?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's, we're a close-knit group, and, we got about as many guys injured over there as we do putting uniforms on to play. So, yeah, I think they're, I think they like being part of it. It's Baba's obviously, I mean, he's a leader on the team. I mean, just because of who he is, I think kind of traditionally you think a leader tells people what to do. That's not really what modern day leaders do in 2025. It's more just who you are. And Baba's such a consistent worker and consistent person, and certainly well respected. It's good to have him around, and obviously Julius brings an energy and a youthfulness to our group that's helped us all year. So, but not just those guys. I mean, Terrion Murdix, Falou Zhang, Tegan Moore, Kate Unseld. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but I feel like I am. But anyways, those guys are all an important part of our team, and obviously, like, it's, when you go forward, I mean, it's kind of, it's next man up mentality, and no doubt I tell our players that are playing, like, we can't be thinking about, oh, how about Bob, or how about Julius, or you can't think like that. Like, you can't, you build in, there's any 5 players that we put on the floor are good enough to beat anybody in our league. We truly believe that. And if we don't believe that, then they shouldn't be playing. They shouldn't be out there. But no doubt, there's a will and a desire to succeed in our locker room by every single player on our entire roster. So I think we've been better when we have the whole group together, and it's certainly it's certainly a positive to have everybody around. All right, thank you.